Alright everyone, I'm here to give you my Walking Dead review. And this is called Self-Help. And it's Season 5, Episode 5. And it came out on November 9th, 2014. Um, I'm going to do the same thing as I did yesterday. Yesterday and today, make small videos and then combine them into a big video. So this one starts out with, Abraham, Rosita, Taylor, Eugene, Maggie, and Glenn. I think that's everybody. And they're on the bus driving to Washington. And I think this episode is mainly going to be dedicated around the journey to Washington, which I'm fine with. I expected it to happen. And Rosita talks about how she would like to cut Abraham's hair. They're joking about cutting his hair, shaving him all over. I think Rosita is his wife, because I never really knew. And I think he talked about how he'd retire and be like a sheep herder. And Eugene is what Eugene says. And Taylor says that Rosita should cut Eugene's hair, and Eugene said no, that's not happening. I like my hair the way it is. And then Glenn and Maggie are hopeful that Carol and Dale made it back to the church, and Rick's group's right behind them. And then Glenn asked Eugene how long it's gonna take for the process for it to be complete, and it says depends on like the targets of the missiles and stuff. And he says a bunch of stuff I don't understand. I really don't understand what Eugene says. And then Glenn asks him why he won't cut his hair, and he says because he likes his hair. It makes him feel like he's fun because the smartest guy in the world that he worked for, his boss, said that his hair made him look fun. And they drove by a bunch of walkers or zombies or the bunch of names that they have said. And so then Abraham has to like drive around a bunch of cars because they're there, and then the bus crashes. So yeah, that's not good. And a bunch of walkers are going now towards the bus. So it doesn't look good for this group right now, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully something good comes out. Hopefully something good comes out of this. And now it has the theme song right now, and it says AMC Presents. And I actually want to mention something. It keeps saying viewers subscribe, you know how they like to say that viewers like kids and older shouldn't watch this because it has like gore and stuff in it. It says that like 5 times throughout this. Like it even says it like when it's about to end. Like who would tune in at the end of an episode? I just don't really get why they're doing that. But yeah, let's see what happens now throughout this. All right, so now what happens is they all go out of the bus. Well, first we see Abraham in like a flashback beating the crap out of like I think a walker or a human. I don't really know what it was with a can. I don't know what that was. We'll probably find out in the future. So then they go out and they all kill the walkers, and Tara has to cover Eugene to make sure he doesn't get hurt. And one of them tries to come in through the window of the bus, and she kills that walker, and wants Eugene to help them kill it. And he's like, it's voluntary. It's like not when you have to help people. So they all kill him. Maggie's using like a spear. Everyone's using weapons. And Eugene seems scared to kill the walkers. I don't know why he's scared, but he is. And eventually one tries to come up behind Taylor, and he kills him. And then Abraham wants to make sure that Eugene doesn't have any bites or scratches or anything. And he says he's fine. And he wants to keep moving. He wants, he doesn't want to go back to the church. He wants to keep moving because the fate of the world is at stake here, which I completely understand. And Glenn says we'll keep moving. He says it's his shot, and they go. And then Eugene spits on one of the walkers. I thought that was funny. I don't know what's going on yet, but we'll find out. I'm not sure where this episode's going. And we'll see what happens. But this episode's been pretty good so far. I've enjoyed it. Let's see what happens. Alright, so now what's happened is Abraham was calling someone named Alan. I don't know who Alan is yet. I'm assuming it was either his ex-wife, and you'll find out, or his like sister or something. And she comes out from underneath, I think, like the kitchen or something. And she has two little kids, and then we don't really see anything else that happens from there because it goes back to the present time. And they're just scaling the library, I guess, because it looks like a library because there's a bunch of shelves with books on it. So they like make camp there, and Abraham gets all stitched up because he was injured, and the bus is on fire too. I forgot to mention, and they don't have a vehicle, and Abraham's keeping watch, and Glenn, he thanks Glenn for keeping his deal because he could have backed out on it when the bus got destroyed, and he talks about how people will kill people, but this world's gonna change very soon, and then he tells Glenn that he's gonna get some ass. And Glenn did, like, I didn't need to know that, but cool. So Glenn, Abraham and Rosita are having sex, and Eugene is watching that. And Taylor comes up, and he said that he wanted to get a first-hand experience because he's never had that experience before. He said he says a lot of things in complicated ways, so I'm just taking it from the way I know it. And Taylor thanks Eugene for saving her, having her back, and he says he looks at it in a positive way. You needed my help, so you were the people needed my help, so you were the first one that they needed. And then he says that it's his fault the bus broke down, and she's like, "No, it's not your fault. How would it be your fault?" And he said that he filled the gas with glass when they left the church, and she's like, "Why would you do that?" And he says that he did that because they only feel like that they want to protect him and stuff because he has the information about how to cure this world, and once the world's all safe, then no one's gonna protect him anymore. They wouldn't need him. And Taylor says, "No, we would protect you. You're our friend, and we all do stuff for each other. Whether you like it or not, you're stuck with us." And she tells him not to do something like that again, and he says he never will, and not to tell the others about it. And then they fist pump, and he's like, "Why did I tell you about it?" It's like, "Because I'm an asshole." I think that's what she said. And then Glenn and Maggie, I think, says she feels guilty that she left the church before Daryl and Carol came back. And then she talks about how but it's okay because it's not about then. It's not about yesterday. It's about what's gonna be. And we find out that they've been drinking toilet water too, which is nasty. And then out the window we see someone walking around. I don't know if this person's gonna be trouble or not. I don't know who it was. It's really hard to see too what's going on because it's really dark and you can't really see when it's dark outside. So yeah, that's what's happened so far. Let's see what happens now. Okay, so now what's happened is Abraham is being attended to by Rosita, and she says, "Why don't we stay here another night?" And she's like, "Why?" Because this is a bookstore, and he's like, "Why?" So you can sit around and catch up on your reading. And then she says, "No, because we're not 100%, or something. Like we're all injured." And Abraham says, "So we gotta get to Washington. D.C. The fate of the world depends on it. The longer we stay here, the more people die." And she's like, "You think I don't know that? I want to get to Washington D.C." And when they're like, "But you're acting like you don't want to." So then Maggie's like, "But we don't even have a vehicle. We could stay here and make this our base." And then he finds a vehicle. It's a fire truck, and that has water on it too. So they have supplies, and they do get it going. They're gonna drive off, and then the gas runs out. So then he tries to fill it up by the engine runs out by through the side, but you have to go up through the top. And then walkers come out of the building, and everyone starts killing them. And then Eugene stands on the fire truck and sprays it with the hose, which I guess walkers can't have. Plus, I think a hose of a fire truck is really powerful too. So, and then Abraham says, "I've been to the 8 county fairs and 1 sheep show, and I've never seen anything like that. So then he's gonna fill it up, and Glenn's even like, well, we should go inside, get some supplies and dry clothes. And he's gonna fill it up, and he starts laughing like he's crazy. And then on the sign it said, "Sick inside, let them die." So yeah, that was kind of it right there. I thought it was this was some pretty good scenes we got here. It was awesome. So let's see what happens now. All right, now something big just happened, and this was an awesome scene. So now what happens is well, earlier in the episode, and I forgot to mention this, is Abraham was talking to the kids and Alan. And since he had killed the walkers, they were scared of him, I guess because he killed someone. But he said he stopped them, but they were scared of him. I don't understand why, but they were. And then the next morning he wakes up and the kids and Alan are gone. So I don't really know what's going to happen this. And now back in the present time, Maggie comes up to Eugene and says that she knows that he doesn't want to have his hair cut because that's who you are. That you could have given up in the science room and you didn't. You persevered and found a cure. And then talks about how you're not like Samson, you never gave up. And I thought it was good stuff. It was a big story. So then they walk. They smell something terrible and they walk up, and if they go straight into the road, there's like a ton of walkers, and all the group doesn't want to take the chance and go that way, because they'll pretty much die. And they say that there's another way to go, but Abraham doesn't want to go. He says we're going to go right through that so we can save the world. But no one wants to go. No one's in for it. And then Abraham grabs his gun. And he's gonna kill Eugene. He threatens to kill you. I think he was gonna threaten to kill Eugene unless he went that way. And everyone's trying to stop him, but it fails. And we find out that Eugene isn't a scientist. He doesn't know how to stop this. This was huge. That was a big scene. So pretty much they just went all through that for nothing. So they're probably gonna be pissed about this. I can't wait to see what happens next. This was awesome. All right, I'll see what happens now. Alright, so now Eugene admitted that they don't really believe that he's not a scientist because he's seen him do amazing things, but he says he's just smart. He just knows things. And he's smarter than everybody. And he knew he needed to get to Washington, D.C. because that would be a safe place for him to survive, and he knew he could trick some people to go with him. And he did that, but then he realized that they weren't going to get there, so he decided to let it slip, that there was no possible way that they were going to get there. And Abraham beats the crap out of him. I don't blame him, really. He pretty much tried to keep this guy safe. I mean, he even mentioned that people died along the way. He mentioned a list load of people, including Bob. And, people died for this. So, afterwards, though, when he continues to go to beat the crap out of him, his girlfriend, Rosita, is gonna pull out a gun and kill him. So then it shows a flash, and he's all bloody afterwards too, Eugene. And then it shows a flashback of Abraham, and since he can't find probably his ex-wife, Alan, anywhere, he's gonna kill himself. He puts the gun in his mouth and is about to kill himself. But then Eugene's being chased by walkers, and he asks for help, and he kills them. And Abraham's just going to go on his separate ways, and Eugene says that they're getting faster, and he says that he needs his help. He has an important mission. So then he's probably going to tell him that he knew how to stop this and stuff, and that when he asks how, he was going to say it's classified information. And that was this week's episode. I thought this was a great episode. It was a big scene that we know Eugene doesn't really know how to stop this. So I was actually thinking that when they get to DC, that's how this episode was gonna end. If it was gonna be finally back to normal, but no, I guess not. Now I don't really know what's gonna happen. So let's see what happens next time. But this was a great episode. I enjoyed this one, and I'm gonna watch the next one now and review it.